A lot of people don't see Vladimir Putin as one of the richest men in the world. In today's video, I'm going to tell you guys how rich he is and what he spends his money on. Vladimir Putin seems set on being the supervillain of the 2020s. While Putin maintains that he lives a very simple life by head of state standards, there are several allegations that Putin lives a life of extravagance akin to that of the Wolf of Wall Street, complete with a home that's allegedly worth over $1 billion, with 18 more residences tied to him in terms of what's in those garages. He's reported to own over 700 cars. Add to that the rumored 58 aircraft, various helicopters, and a plethora of other items, and you get a picture of a man who spends money like Nicolas Cage in the 1990s. Could he also be a mega-rich oligarch with hundreds of billions of dollars to spend on boats, jets, automobiles, and his own secret biker gang? There is only one way to find out. Just make sure you like, subscribe to this channel, and also turn on your notification post. Putin clearly enjoys riding in limousines and being photographed doing so, which includes his latest prize, which shouts, "I think I'm the king of the universe," a Horus Senate limousine. This stunning ride is worth up to $1.2 million, and despite being a limo, it can reach speeds of over 150 miles per hour. It's apparent that he believes this vehicle to be a flex. On other world leaders, he simply enjoys being photographed riding or driving himself. He also has a Gazelle limousine, which is quite unique. Sure, it appears to be a standard limo, but this $160,000 vehicle is one of a kind, designed just for Putin. As one might anticipate, given that this is Putin's private vehicle, there aren't many specs. Otherwise, the whole point of having a private ride would be defeated. If we did, you'd have to think that these vehicles are equipped with bulletproofing, insect-proofing, and possibly everything else. It has its own machine gun, similar to Nick Fury's. He enjoys low-cost off-road vehicles that you'd expect a well-off suburban dad to purchase. For example, he has a Mercedes NL 500, a plain-looking vehicle that is only worth roughly $46,000. This baby can still hit around 150 miles per hour, and his Lada Niva 4X4 is a 25,000 ride that can achieve 87 miles per hour. Both of these automobiles offer a completely different picture of Russia's leader. Is he secretly known as Vlad the off-road trucker in his private life? I really hope so. Vladimir Putin isn't as vocal about his love of sports vehicles, but he's been spotted with a few incredible rides worthy of a Fast and Furious movie. He owns a Lada Vesta sedan, a lime green sports car costing over $11,000 that can reach speeds of over 120 miles per hour. When you see his expression around this baby, you just know he's hit that 120 at least once just to know he's done it. If I had to guess, I think his underground garage, which purportedly houses hundreds upon hundreds of automobiles, contains a lot more cars like this one than off-road suburban dad cars. I'd be willing to guess that his garage rivals Jay Leno's famed vehicle collection. As you might think, that's worth more than $50 million. Putin doesn't exactly fly coach at this point. He has a private plane known informally as the Flying Kremlin. It's a plane valued more than $700 million. This plane has sumptuous bedrooms, huge meeting spaces, a fully filled gym, a fully stocked bar with top-shelf whiskey, Putin's favorite, and toilets that are literally gold-plated. While that may sound like a lot even by private jet standards, this is essentially Putin's flying apartment. He has spent more time in the air than any other Russian leader in history. While that may appear to be a high price for a plane, the Air Force One successor for the President of the United States is expected to cost more than $3.9 billion. So Putin isn't the big spender in this scenario. But what's remarkable about Putin's flying schedule is that he's never alone in the air. Putin's flight is flanked by 3 identical jets, a remarkable feat of high-flying deception. Nobody is supposed to know which jet is carrying Russia's true president. Even the crew of each plane has no idea if Putin will be traveling on it until takeoff, and others claim he's paranoid. Wait. That might put our entire budget in jeopardy, since no one knows which of these planes is the genuine Flying Kremlin that day. It stands to reason that they must all have identical amenities. So does he have 4 planes instead of one $716 million plane? That would be a fleet worth $2 billion, $864 million. We may have to assume that this is one of many Putin riddles that will likely never be solved. But I will say this, there is no question in my mind that every single one of those planes has golden toilet seats. The man will not settle for less. By far the most terrifying plane utilized by Putin is the so-called Doomsday plane, which was literally built to continue operating in the event of nuclear Armageddon. The concept is that even if the world is in the grip of the worst global conflict imaginable, Vladimir Putin will still be flying over the air directing Russia in fundamental terms. This multi-million-dollar plane has a cruising speed of 530 miles per hour and appears to be a regular plane except for one noticeable feature. While the plane's top has a slight bulge that makes it look like a huge flying dolphin, this is actually a modern communications suite that is designed to continue working even in the face of extreme radiation. The Doomsday plane isn't used very often when it comes to terrible planes. It's mostly utilized for protests and celebrations, and it's more of a status symbol than anything else, an incredibly horrifying status symbol. Putin isn't just like fast vehicles and private jets, he also enjoys motorcycles and biker gangs. He doesn't appear to be riding his at anything close to that speed. He generally rides with the Night Wolves, a contentious Russian motorcycle gang. They have a tight friendship with Putin and have even joined the invasion of Ukraine. The internet's favorite mode of transportation for Putin is horses. By far the most famous image of Putin is one in which he is shirtless and riding a horse. It's easy to see why he never appears to be relaxed, but on a horse, he appears remarkably relaxed. This famed picture that has swept the world was not an accident. It was planned to demonstrate Putin's toughness, along with other occurrences, such as when he flung himself into freezing cold water. Putin is very explicit about his passion for dogs, having had at least 7. His stable is a bit of a mystery. It's evident that Putin has a tremendous enthusiasm for horses, but he officially owns none. But he's reported to own numerous thoroughbreds, which may sell for thousands of dollars in Russia. In 2019, Putin intended to celebrate International Women's Day by riding alongside a group of female police officers for a picture session. However, during the photo shoot, Putin lost control of his horse and began walking backwards, completely destroying the shot. He even confessed that horses do not appear to want to listen to him. The most infamous yacht in the world right now is the Sherazad, purportedly Vladimir Putin's yacht. Assuming Putin is the type of guy who would have a $700 million masterpiece from its conception, it was certain that Scheherazade would be famous. The legendary German business Larsen Yachts set about building one of the largest yachts ever built at the time. There's no knowing how much additional work went into getting this ship up and running. It's possible to imagine that it may have cost upwards of $800, maybe even $900 million, not including the fortunate costs of running it. It doesn't really matter if it's Putin's yacht or not. This stunning lady will not be seeing the open water anytime soon. Putin took a multi-million-dollar Dutch small submarine deep into the ocean to inspect a wreckage off the coast of the Crimean Peninsula. He actually fell to a depth of 83 meters while sitting alongside the pilot. It was wonderful that he got to witness a sunken galleon moving civilian cargo, but it was mostly a marketing stunt because he managed to talk more about how magnificent the 83 meters was than the galleon he went to see. So now that we've seen everything, the issue is, how much money does Putin genuinely have? It is difficult to determine Vladimir Putin's exact wealth. Putin is a civil servant with a modest annual salary of $140,000. According to official accounts, his garage has only 2 Soviet-era cars and an off-road truck. Putin is not even a billionaire. He is a reasonably affluent politician whose influence stems from his position rather than his financial account. His rumored wealth is significantly more, while others claim Putin is just the world's richest man in secret. Elon Musk is the world's richest individual, with a net worth of approximately $215 billion. Bill Browder, an investor with extensive experience in Russia, has his own opinion. Concerning Putin's money, he testified before Congress that he believes Putin's wealth is also over $200 billion, and that he has amassed a great fortune via the use of shady activities. He said that the wealth was obtained through extortion and enormous theft from state coffers. So now we know what Putin's allegedly decadent existence is like. Do you honestly believe he has Elon beat for the gold? Putin may not be getting any new vehicles or biker gangs this year because Russia is apparently spending $900 million per day in Ukraine. We've arrived at the end of this video. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and smash the notification bell to be notified on new updates about this amazing channel. See you in the next video coming up.